this has just been a roller coaster of a category over the last few years, right up until the last few hours, where a world record was set in the B session by the one and only Rahmat Owen Abdullah of Indonesia. We'll talk all about that very soon, but first, let's take a look at the athletes. Our first athlete from Colombia, Andres Caicedo. And then from Armenia, Rafik Harutyunyan, who took a gold medal at the European Championships in 2022. From Uzbekistan, it's the technically brilliant M-81kg Toshdemirov. Bit of a tongue twister, that one. From Albania, a man who's not been able to total at 3 of his last 4 competitions, Erkan Kerimaj. Let's see if he can follow in the steps of his teammate and put up a total today. From Iran, Hussein Soltani. From Kazakhstan, Yelaman Saitkazi. And then an athlete from Turkmenistan, Gajiz Turayev. And then potentially the 2 front runners in this session, I would say from Italy, we have Oscar Reyes Martinez, who's looked very strong in the training hall. And then the Bulgarian phenom, we have Bozidar Andreev, an ex-73 kilo lifter, now up at 81. He's hit some rather enormous lifts in the training hall over this last week. Yeah, there's 209. That's the world record that just happened about 3 hours ago. And look at the ease of this lift. Something more impressive even than the fact that he made it is the fact that he weighed 76.67 kilos. Took the silver medal at the Asian Junior Championships 2 months ago. Snatch 147 there, that's his best. Already a big improvement.
Yep. Good lift for his opener. He did hop back a little bit, but the Turkmenistan lifters have actually shown some pretty good technical lifting just across multiple competitions we've seen. The team has grown a little bit as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it really has. Plenty of sort of these middle light heavyweight athletes in the 89 to 96 kilo range as well. Then, of course, they have the heaviest athlete here.
Yeah.
It's Toychev Hoja Mohammed. That's the heaviest athlete from Turkmenistan. I actually, what do they call it? It's like selfie bombing or something. A photo today. Some of the loaders were getting a photo of Toychev.
Oh.
And there was a little gap, and I just peeked through and threw up a peace sign. And the person taking the photo loved it. So
nice.
You zoom in, I'm just in there.
You have to check
Photo bomb, that's the one, right?
Toychev's Facebook later.
Hopefully he's not paid someone on Fiverr to remove me from the image, we'll see.
So 147, Turayev's going to go up just 2 kilos. Every other lifter now has at least 150 on the bar, or as an attempt. Oh, Turayev here making an adjustment. We'll see what he takes. Is he going to go for the 150 as well?
How is it that
48.
the scoreboard already said 147 before he'd even made the change in the back room? Now
Well,
it's 148.
I think the feed is behind.
Only by 1.5 seconds.
Oh, they must be quick there.
I mean, the change was made so far in
Turayev
advance.
is living in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quick, actually.
Yeah.
All right, 148. Turayev second. He did leave it up front a little bit on the first. But, you know, those first attempts can be kind of one to shake off the nerves.
Well, he's competed a lot recently. He was at the Grand Prix in Cuba in June, the Junior Championships of Asia in July. Now here he is. He took silver at both of those meets. It's unlikely to happen today.
Oh, better than the first.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a personal best. What a way to
solid.
You know, kick off your first senior World Championships competition. So the 2 front runners we imagine in this session, Bozidar Andreev and Oscar Martinez, they're both at 120 kilos right now in the back room. Oscar's put in for 155 kilos for his opening attempt. Bozidar 150.
Yeah. Bozidar is probably the man we're looking to. He's looked very good in training, so.
We saw him snatch 165 kilos with straps on in the training hall. And then the next day he snatched 170 kilos off blocks. Just a huge lift. But speaking to his coach, he is significantly stronger off blocks. He's made as much as 175 in the past.
Wow.
And then he cleaned 205 off blocks with straps.
Wow,
in the training hall.
Very solid.
Yeah, very impressive lift to see.
Yeah.
So Andres Caicedo from Colombia, 150. Placed 6th at his home World Championships last year. Best snatch of 156 kilos from the old 77 kilo category, but that was 7 years ago. More recently, he's a high 140s type of lifter. This would be big for him.
Yeah, especially as an opener.
He's not hit this sort of weight in 6 years.
Oh,
Ooh,
very solid.
yeah.
Little adjustment, caught it and had to push his head through the last second, but very nice opening lift.
Yeah, he has relatively little ankle mobility compared to some of these other athletes. It was relatively vertical shins in the catch. Not really, but you know, nowhere near pushing his knees as far forward as some of these other athletes.
Yeah.
But he's got great hip mobility. Let's take a look at this.
Oh, beautiful lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very solid. For him to be opening there,
yeah,
he's in great shape for the snatch, actually.
And he clean and jerked 197 kilos at the World Championships last year.
Wow.
So, you know, if he pushes into the mid-150s and then goes to 200, you know, we've been talking about 160, 195 being the winning total, but 155, 200 would similarly do that.
He's certainly a contender.
So I think we're going to see Yellowman Saidkazi from Kazakhstan out next at 150 kilos. This will be his 5th international ever, his 2nd World Championships. He's never been on the podium at an international meet. Missed all of his clean and jerks at the Asian Championships this year, but he did snatch 155 and 156 a few months prior to that.
So went a little behind him, but he was easily able to fight with it.
Yeah, very nice lift.
It's a good opener for him. Puts him in place to possibly make even a record for himself, personal record.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's going to be snatching 160, but another 5 kilos, you know, he's got that.
So Bozidar is being called out with 150. We'll see if he comes out for that. I'd be surprised. He might creep up a little bit from there. Nope. He's here.
In the back room,
nope.
Bozidar Andreev has snatched 135 and loaded 140.
Yeah.
Oscar Martinez, power snatch 120. He's jumped up to 130 now. He'll probably be the last opener, which is why he's just a touch behind. Turayev, 150, 3rd attempt. Very smart jump. New personal best.
Oh, great lift.
Oh, every lift looked just as easy as the last, if not easier.
Got better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder what he could snatch if he was able to have another attempt.
Yeah, fantastic performance for him. Caicedo is being called out. He's got the 151. He'll adjust from there, obviously.
Andreev Bozidar with 145 kilos in the back room. We've been fortunate enough to see this lift, and it looked very, very sharp. Looks
very
like
strong.
He's loaded 150, which he'll take in the back room before coming out for his opener.
Yeah.
Put in 153. That could change. All these coaches will be aware of this world record from the B session, the 209, and the leading total of 354. So 355 is in the minds of a lot of these coaches right now. Here's Hussein Sultani. The current Asian champion in the category, Snatch 154. Best clean and jerk of 192 kilos.
Yeah, he's got big openers written in, actually. Well, let's see what shape he's in.
Yeah, that 192 clean jerk opener might prove to be a touch heavy for him.
Yeah, very strong pull,
Yeah,
but
it was.
it was just forward.
He drifted forward.
Yeah.
It wasn't a sudden thing. He just gradually, throughout the pull, his weight shifted.
So probably not the wrong weight for him to select, but he just needed to clean that technique up.
You know, the Iranians, more than almost any team in the world, I feel, just turn over A-session lifters like no other. You know, you see an athlete burst onto the scene for a year or two, and they do well, and then they're gone. You know, it's really remarkable.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could think of a country that has stacked those weight classes, like you said, and turned over lifters so much. I mean, think of the number of exceptional super heavyweights they've had over the years.
I mean, they have 4 right now.
Yeah.
And they could only send 2 here. They had to select the 2 that were most likely to get an Olympic spot.
Yeah, if you go back 10 years even.
Yeah, there's another 3 or 4.
It might be a dozen supers.
Yeah. Here comes Karamaj Arkand.
Albania.
Not known for making lifts, but his teammate did make 1 snatch in the B session, which I think they'll take as a bit of a win.
Oh,
wow.
Good snatch.
There we go.
Yeah, very solid opener for him.
Well, Max, you know, I knew that he would have some confidence coming into this meet because he did make a snatch in training in the build-up to this competition.
I would hope so. Yeah. The Albanians have had a rough go. We've seen them, we've seen them at many meets just fail to total, even right here.
Well, you know, he missed his lifts at the Grand Prix, he missed his lifts at the Mediterranean Games, he missed his lift at the European Championships. He's had 1 total since 2021.
That's just such a long time to go. They oftentimes, the Albanian strategy is to open very heavy.
But he is, do you know that Karamaj's first international was 2003? He's had 36 international competitions.
That's got to be one of the longest careers here, maybe the longest.
I was 10 when he first stood up on the podium.
Sultani, second attempt, 53. He left the first one forward, pulled it high enough. Yep. You can see that same thing above the knee. He was moving forward, but after contact, he actually just hopped forward a little bit to get under the bar.
Yeah.
A strong lift, though, 153. That's solid for him.
Yeah, very snappy, very good lifting. Looks like Andreev Bozidar might be coming out next. 154 kilos is the weight that he's asked for. Oscar made a very nice looking 140 kilo snatch in the back room. Extremely powerful athlete. And Bozidar actually made 150 just prior to coming out right now.
So he's got 154 here. We saw him do, he trained quite a bit in the training hall. He was pretty much there every time the Bulgarian team showed up. Maybe not always training heavy, but doing a little bit of something.
Yeah, he had to wave up a couple of times on his heavy snatch day, but he did manage to get up to 165 from the floor, which is enormous. Would certainly take a gold medal here.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was extraordinary.
Yeah.
That looks like the second to last warm-up.
I've always loved watching his technique. So fast, so snappy. Such a unit. You know, he's just a blocky.
An absolute unit,
guy.
I believe, is what the kids say.
Yeah.
You know, he has a very just so much speed and so much power through those movements. It's really an exciting lift to watch. Look at this.
Yeah.
Just so perfectly timed.
Oh, he's in good shape.
Yeah. Yeah, he may be one of my favorite Bulgarian lifters to watch in this modern era.
Mm-hmm.
Just very technically sound and aggressive.
He's the fastest of them all.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Sarkazy. Second attempt now. 4 kilo jump from his opener. Oh.
Better pull, but it was still a little bit soft. And when you don't have the time to get under the bar, your elbows could easily unlock like that.
Yeah. So 3 athletes still yet to open, all 3 wanting 155 kilos. It's Haratiunian from Armenia, Tosh Demirov from Uzbekistan, and then Oscar Martinez from Italy, who just snatched 150 kilos in the back room. That's the last lift, I'm sure, for a lot of these final athletes who are yet to open. Yeah, always very interesting to see what happens in the back room. I was fortunate enough to get in there during the early parts of the clean and jerks of the B session, and I watched Great Britain's Chris Murray warming up. He went out, he made a lift, great opening clean and jerk, came into the back room, and there was such a, athletes moving and taking attempts and misses that he was there waiting for a long time. He loaded up 150 kilos just to power clean it to stay warm. Missed it, got spat out, turned around, kicked the chair over, yelled, came back out and made his second attempt.
Oh, Chris.
Very impressive, very cool.
Yeah, we had the pleasure of speaking to Chris Murray earlier. I saw him earlier this week doing a little tune-up session. He was power cleaning. I think he went up to, he went up to what he thought was a power clean at about 165.
It was definitely on the board, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely
there were mixed reviews of that one.
A squat clean, I believe is what it's called.
Well, your rule is if it would count as a squat in a powerlifting meet, it's not a power.
Well, my rule is if you have to ask, it's not a power.
Okay. Well, I guess he didn't ask. He just showed you it was a power. Much better.
A save, but that left elbow.
No, I think it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he just dipped to the left side. The whole bar was moving.
Amazing that he can do that.
Wow.
Just tilt over so much and make that.
Wow, so he's got 54 then on the board. 2 for 3 in the snatch. So
Tosh Demirov, also an athlete who's just made 150 kilos in the back room. He's the Uzbek lifter. And it looked very strong. I'm sure there's a certain sense of urgency from these top runners in knowing what it is that they have to beat from the B session. That's 354. Here is now Haratiunian, Rafik from Armenia. Of course, he took a bronze medal at the European Championships this year. He won in 2022. 160, 194 he made there, which actually equals the total that we just saw from the B session. So we know he's capable of doing this. But he's going to have a perfect day.
Yeah, so much rise on this opener here. What shape is he in? Oh, strong.
Yeah.
Big hop forward, though. But definitely a strong opening lift.
He's very fast in the pull. Very powerful athlete, but quite the jump, and he gets away with it there. But it's likely going to be the reason that he misses at some point if he misses today.
So 55 is going to stay. Tosh Demirov will be the lifter.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, he's moved.
Well, interestingly, Tosh Demirov just snatched 155 kilos in the back room. These athletes have got their eye on Rahmat's B session total. None of them will challenge his clean and jerk or, clean and jerk world record.
Yeah.
But they could certainly challenge his total.
Yeah, and again, it just begs the question, why did Rahmat only take 145 in the snatch? Maybe as a little motivation, a carrot for all these athletes to chase.
Maybe he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
No, it can't be.
Well, you wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't show up if you didn't care. I
Yeah.
guess. 155.
Very bizarre from him.
Wow.
Oh,
Very,
what a lift.
Very good
Yeah.
lift. That was a slow pull. You could see it above the knee. He was not moving super fast, but he got under that bar so well.
Yeah, he's been waiting a while. So Tosh Demirov is one of the next athletes. It might be potentially the next athlete out. He told us that in training he snatched 166 kilos, but that he injured his shoulder before the Asian Championships. And then he sent us an image of
A diagram, really.
a diagram of, I guess, the anatomy of the shoulder area. And it looks like, I mean, is that the head of the, is that the ball of the actual bone?
That looks like a labrum.
Fractured, or
I
it's
think
a
he's
labrum
showing
tear?
a labrum tear there.
Right. Interestingly, he noted how bizarre this session is. We asked him what he thought about his competitors, and he said, "My competitors are in every session, the A, B, and C. Shizyong's in the C group. Rahmat's in the B group." He said this is a very strange meet, and it certainly is.
That's nice to see one of the lifters acknowledging that as well.
Yeah. Okay, here's Oscar Reyes-Martinez. Made 155 at the World Championships last year. That's his best ever in competition. Used to represent Cuba.
Oh, very
Fast.
solid. Yeah,
He's such a powerful athlete.
just tremendous speed on that bar.
Yeah, stronger pull than Andreev Bozidar, but potentially, I was about to say slower. I mean, he's probably the second fastest man here, but I think Bozidar probably a little bit faster, but not quite as
Beautiful lift.
strong. Okay, here comes Karamaj, second attempt, 156, 3 kilo jump. He was looking good on his opening attempt. More experience than anybody else in this field by far. As I mentioned earlier, his first competition internationally was 2003. He's had 36 international meets. Oh,
Yeah. He opened up a little bit. You could see him come off the ground. His hips came up a little bit fast there.
and his career has been, it's been up and down. You know, kicked off in 2003, 36 internationals. He's bombed out 8 times. He placed 13th at the Olympics in 2008. He was disqualified in 2012. He came back. He won Europeans in 2014, and he's still going now. You know, 20 years later.
Wow. A storied history.
Yeah, you could make a film about his career.
There's his coach. Only coach I've seen wearing a suit this whole competition.
You know, they mean business.
I think he's going to come out and take this. He's just going to repeat. A smart move.
Yeah, he's barely taking any rest here.
Yeah, it's
Still
30
got
seconds.
Yeah, a minute 30 on the clock.
You know, usually when an athlete comes right back to the bar after a miss, they are pretty confident that they know what did wrong.
Yeah, it was a silly technical miss, and before they sort of forget what that feel was, they just want to get straight back onto it. You know, the fatigue's not particularly high after a snatch.
See if that's the case here. Whoa, very nice.
Wow.
Gives a look to the side.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, solid lifting.
Yeah, best snatch
Karamaj.
we've seen from Albania in a long time. Really great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pulls with a little bit of a rounded back, actually. Certainly doesn't have that full extension in the back when he sets up compared to some of these other athletes, but he's strong and he's fast. Tosh Demirov now from Uzbekistan. A very heavy opening attempt for him, 157 kilos. a good lifter. Bronze at the Asian Championships in 2022. The junior world champion from 2021. He's medaled several times now internationally. Never at a senior world championships though. This is his third senior worlds.
Oh, very nice opening lift.
Very good.
Yeah. You know, a surprising number of successful lifts here in the high 150s.
Yeah.
This is turning out to be pretty good. I think everyone here has their sights set on you know, trying to take down something in the 160s in the snatch. Obviously, only those that can clean and jerk enough are going to be able to actually beat Rahmat, but definitely some very good lifting right now.
Yeah, that's a great opening attempt. You know, especially considering that labrum tear from earlier this year. Because of that shoulder tear, he said he started paying a little bit more attention to warming up before he trains. He said the more warmed up his body feels, the better the training goes.
Interesting strategy.
158, Andreev Bozidar. He made a 154 opener. He then snatched 150 kilos again in the back room because he's had to sit and wait for, you know, a good few minutes now. Got a very strong team of coaches there. Two of the three well-known athletes. The other, I'm not so sure, but he is fluent in English, so I speak to him a lot about the training of these lifters, and they've all been looking good, apparently, particularly this man. But can that translate to the competition platform? We'll see.
Oh,
there we go.
Huge lift, 158.
Absolutely amazing.
Wow. Yeah, fantastic.
You know, there was maybe a flicker at an elbow. I'm staring. Oh, they're challenging it.
Oh no.
They're challenging it. Oh, I really didn't want them to.
Let's see here.
It's his right elbow.
Yeah. Yep, a little lock and unlock there.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
We'll see. I imagine they're going to turn this over.
Well, if they're stopping to take a look at it, then I have to imagine so. There's a screen in the room that we're all looking at now. I have to assume that a decision has been made. Here's a replay. It's not the right angle for it. It's a near side elbow. You can see it there. You can see it. It does move. It's going to be very disappointing for Andreev and the Bulgarian team, but I think, seeing with what some other athletes have been called for, that one seems maybe equally as egregious, although they are playing it over and over, and they've got more people come over to take a look, so they've called the referees over.
Yeah, usually I think when they're calling the referees, they're going to
warn them.
Point out, well, yeah, you should have called this as reds.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
So we're still waiting to hear it, but we're pretty sure that that lift is going to be overturned. Yeah, no lift, unfortunately.
But that's a shame.
Yeah, because he's looking good. He's looking fast, and now what does he do? He's already... Well, he had an automatic increase to 159, but of course that's going to now disappear and go back down to 158. Does he take it, or does he go for 160? Yeah, if he wants to get that gold, he needs 160, 195.
Yeah, he just can't give up any more kilos in the snatch.
No. Maybe the smart move is to take the 158. Just retake it, try and get it, and then go for a 197.
A Hail Mary clean and jerk.
Yeah, we know we can clean it. He's even clean and jerked it before.
Yeah. There's Casado, 158.
This will be monumental.
Yeah.
told us his best snatch this year is 155, so he's having a good day today.
That pull above the knee was a little bit slow. Oh, he's under.
Oh, my word.
What a great attempt. He just went for that.
And a jump
So
for joy
solid.
from his coaches on the side of the platform.
Fantastic lifting for Casado.
Great turnout from the Colombians in the crowd as well, cheering him on. 3 for 3. It's actually been a pretty good session so far. Only 4 missed lifts. One of them was a turned over from the jury. And a good start. Very good start to this session. So Bozidar has gone up to 159, which means that Sultani's out now. A 6 kilo jump.
That's big.
It's massive. You know, he missed his opener. Perhaps he's wanting to get somewhere in between what would have been a second and third attempt had he made it.
You know, the Iranians are not known for being afraid of taking heavy weights.
No, they don't play particularly conservatively.
A big jump forward on his last snatch, though. This extra weight may exacerbate that issue.
Oh, it looked all right.
Yeah, he didn't jump forward at all and just was not able to lock it out.
Yeah, that's the risk of those big 6 kilo jumps. Potentially 156 or, you know, something a bit smaller could have been the one, but...
Yeah, well, he's left now with 153.
So it's Andrea Bozidar will come back out and retake this lift. He really, really needs to make this if he wants to be in with a shot at a medal today in the total. I would have thought with lifters like Josh Demirov, Haratunian and Oscar Martinez chasing that lead total from Rahmat Abdullah in the B session. If Andreev misses this, he's going to fall out of the running with that front pack. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, the unfortunate. Perfect on that walkout.
Oh, just jumps through.
Yeah, swings it.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate. He's going to only walk away with 154.
Yeah, which really doesn't seem to
he
fairly show or demonstrate the shape that he was in.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some huge lifts in the training hall and a lot of consistency just as far as making lifts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, 165 from the floor, 170 from the blocks. But let's see how he does in the clean and jerk. You know, it's not over yet. We're up at 160 now. This is getting into a pretty heavy range for these 81s. 5 kilo jump from his opener.
Oh,
wow.
Very nice lift.
Yeah.
He had a big jump forward, but he made it.
That's
so
gritty.
far, the only man to make 160 in this whole weight class.
Gutsy. Huge fight. Very aggressive lifting there from Rafiq. That equals his personal best at 160 that he made back in 2022 in Tirana at the European Championships. All athletes, of course, have opened at this point. 2 attempts remain for Tosh Demirov, 2 for Oscar, 1 for Haratunian, who just made the 160. He's out in the lead right now. Tosh Demirov up next, we imagine. He might bump to 161.
Yeah.
I think he's bumped to 162, actually.
Yeah, he had the 157 as an opener, so that makes sense. So here's Reyes, 161.
It's a personal best for him if he makes it.
Oh, very solid snatch. Let's see. 3 whites, yeah.
Yeah, really good stuff there.
Reyes is putting himself in a great position here.
Yeah.
He's snatching well. He's over 160, obviously, now. The question is, what shape is he in the clean and jerk? Potentially moving himself into a position to win this whole thing if he can snatch even just a little bit more. Makes that clean and jerk that much easier. Tosh Demirov, 161, just a 4 kilo increase.
Very tight here with these athletes. Oh, it's colossal.
Yeah, another good lift.
Yeah.
Very tight session. This is going back and forth here.
Yeah, 2 athletes have made 161. One of them's made 160. They each have 3 attempts remaining. They all have 162 written in right now.
You know, the battle for gold snatch here is very tight, it's very close. .162. This would give him the lead. He'd be in first place and be in a pretty solid position to make an assault on Rakhmat's total here.
Yeah, these athletes have done everything they need to put themselves in a good spot. They're all guaranteed medals in a snatch. It's just comes down to this to work out who gets which. Wow, better than the second.
Amazing performance. Arjunyan, 162 in the snatch. That's exceptional.
Wow, it looks like he's just gasping for air. Put so much effort into that one lift.
That's a personal record for him in the snatch as well.
2 kilo best. You know, as we mentioned before this session started, 354 kilos is his best. It's also the leading total right now from the B group. So the fact that he's now set a personal record in the snatch, he just needs to do what he's done before in the clean and jerk, and he could win this whole thing. An Armenian world champion in the 81s is not something we've really even humored for a while, really.
Yeah, I don't think that was on the World Championships bingo card.
No, no.
Obviously, there's still work to do, but if this man, Oscar Reyes, has anything to say, it's going to be an uphill battle for everyone else. He made 161 in his last 2 kilo jump. This puts him in first place in the snatch.
The penultimate snatch of the men's 81s.
Takes his time. Wow.
Oh, that's
beautiful
the one.
Lift.
That's the one. We might have an Italian world champion. It's very possible in the men's 81s. It's very tight between Indonesia from the B group. Uzbekistan, Armenia, and Italy. Unbelievable. Snatching there, 3 for 3. Max, when was the last time we saw an Italian go 3 for 3 in the snatch? Probably right back in 2022.
I was just going to say, yeah, that's phenomenal lifting.
So the final lift now, he's going up a kilo. He wants that gold. It's Tosh Demirov from Uzbekistan. The second attempt looked ever so heavy. Whatever happens, this has been the most successful session that we've seen in terms of made lifts at this World Championships. 4 athletes already gone 3 for 3.
164 for the golden snatch.
And he's done it.
Lift.
He's done it. It's unbelievable. Tosh Demirov,
Amazing.
Uzbekistan.
What a snatch session. 6 missed lifts altogether. That was incredible. Final lift became the gold medal. Tosh Demirov's now in the lead with that 164.
He equaled his best ever snatch. He made that at the Islamic Solidarity Games over a year ago. And he does it once more on the biggest stage of his career. The junior world champion might become a senior world champion today. Unbelievable. The gold medal in the snatch to Uzbekistan is Tosh Demirov, 3 for 3, 164. A kilo behind him, Italy. Oscar Martinez, 163. A kilo behind him, Rafik Harutyunyan, 162 kilos. We have runner-up Caicedo from Colombia, 158. He also went 3 for 3. And then a bit behind that, we have Karamaj at 156. Yeleman and Bozidar at 154. Turayev 150. And then 5 kilos below even that, we have Rahmat Abdullah from the B group. He only snatched 145 kilos. It was a lift that he had no business really opening up with. He just wanted to get a snatch on the board before going back and focusing on setting a world record in the clean and jerk, which he did then do. He hit 190 on his opener, 200 on his second attempt. Once we saw that, we knew he loaded up 209, and he made it. If you want to watch that world record snatch, it is available on the Weightlifting House Instagram page. You can check out the clean and jerk, the total to beat for these athletes. There's that 154 from Bozidar. What a shame. He just looked so strong.
It just derailed the entire competition for him to miss that one on the press out.
Yeah, to get overturned by the jury is unfair.
So we're now sitting in a spot where potentially 3 men could all surpass Rahmat's total because he only snatched 145 despite that absolutely mind-bending 209 clean and jerk.
Huge 156 opening attempt there for Oscar. And how about that? At 35 years of age, Karamaj with a 156 kilo snatch. 2 for 3 from the Albanian. Absolutely incredible stuff, but it was this man here, the snatch master, 164 kilos. You know, thankful. There's the, I mean, that's such a shame.
So subtle,
Yeah.
but
He doesn't get it. Yeah, they must be thankful that Lee Dayan has moved up to the 89s, because last year he snatched 175 kilos in this category for a world record.
yeah, there's just, like you say all the time, there's just levels to this.
Yeah.
This is an exceptional session here, but a 164 snatch just wouldn't even hold up against 175.
Yeah, well, of course, this is a non-Olympic category. The Olympic category is on either side of the 73s and 89s. And so a lot of the talent from these categories have moved up or down into those ones and have left other athletes who are here because either they have teammates in the Olympic categories and there's no point in both battling it out, or they just can't gain the weight or lose the weight.
You
so
know,
they're sticking around.
An interesting observation as well, these classes that have had athletes vacate them, move up or down, at least the last one, the 64 kilo women's session we saw, was a very tight battle.
Yeah,
really, really tight battle. Again, the A session looking to overtake the top placer from the B session. but a lot of made lifts, and same here, we're seeing this, a lot of successful lifts in the snatch so far.